Alright, welcome everybody. It's been a while since I posted any content on the channel, especially Cities Skylines related, but we are going to be getting back in here with a brand new city called Alamo Springs. This is going to be a very typical American type city that I'm building. I just wanted to get the basic grid and the basic infrastructure out of the way before I started the video, so I didn't have to bore you with all that. But in this episode, we're just going to be kind of going over the town, doing some basic building, and just kind of getting back into it. Let's get building. Alright, we are here in the city, and it's been a while since we played this game, but we're back here. So I was just going to give a quick tour, and then we're just going to probably work on some major expansion of the actual city itself. So we have this small little industrial area that's going to be here by the river. This is probably about as far inland as it's going to be. In fact, I'm probably going to start building a lot more of it along the river, and there's actually not going to be too much over here. I think we're eventually going to jump over here because we're going to put a little bit of industry, at least for now, by the river, just because that's how cities usually start and why they usually exist and stuff. So we're going to do that. But yeah, I'm just kind of been working on, I just wanted to get some of the basics out before, I started recording. I just wanted to get kind of the idea of what I wanted and how things are going. So we have this main street here. I think I named it like US Route or something. Yeah, so this is like a U.S. route highway. This is what I'm going to consider Main Street. It's what I'm going for is a very Americanized type city. It's going to be not a lot in terms of transit or anything like that, at least at the beginning. And a lot of small towns and early cities, you see these massive, or I guess not massive in comparison to freeways and stuff, but these pretty big roads that just cut right through Main Street because supposedly they thought, it'd bring more business to town, but all it did was bring traffic and cause people to not want to go to that town. We're going to work on just kind of getting this residential spread out a little bit more. I'll probably do a little time lapse on that, and then expanding out the industrial a little bit more. We have this kind of open plot that's probably going to become the elementary school. And then I'm thinking the high school will just go across the street in kind of a similar plot. It's a very kind of small town thing to do. If you ever look at small towns, they kind of have these, little cutouts in the grid. Sometimes they don't even have to cut out, they just use a square. But the square I feel like is a little too small, especially for high school. And I would say pretty much for an elementary school. We could probably fit a little bit of parking and some parks or something around it, but it'd be really cramped, and I think we could definitely do better if we just expanded it out. But yeah, in general, it's just going to be very grid-like for now. This map is based off of another map that I actually completely edited. I took out the mountains. I wanted to add some hills, but I didn't have enough time. It's just a flat river. It's a really nice little map to build on. I love the river in here. I have a lot of work to do. I need to take out some of these buildings, prevent some of them from growing as much. Oh, always starting a new city is always a new adventure, and it always reminds you how much you work for with your settings and stuff, and then start a new city and you have to go do it all again, but that's all good. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and start expanding this out, and I will see you guys here in a few minutes. We did a small little expansion here. I just kind of wanted to get another kind of major roadway coming in right now. So this is a secondary highway. It meets up with this main one. I don't know if it, well, pretty sure it'll continue on. I don't know if it'll go through the entire map and then exit out over there somewhere, or if it'll just kind of, end over here somewhere or across the river and go somewhere. I don't know yet, but we will figure that out. I started running this little train track. This is kind of where I wanted to go. I kind of wanted to follow this highway for as long as possible. So I kind of had the train and the highway kind of meet up as they come into town, which is pretty common of what you see, especially in a smaller town or an older town. So I think that looks pretty good. Not totally sold on this little curve down here, but I wanted to kind of get it to where I didn't mess up with this transition for this roadway. There is some extra lanes right now. As you can see, they're blank. I will fill those in once we extend the road, but the road just kind of ends here, but we have enough capacity for when we expand it because we know we're going to. Now, I will say, you may notice I didn't put down any pipes or anything. That's because I have a no pipes mod. I have dealt with pipes long enough in this game, and I'm at a point where I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So, and they also take up node space. So once your city hits a certain size with a certain number of roads or buildings or something like that, it can cause issues. And the pipes stop delivering water sometimes too. So all the joys of kind of breaking this game by, if you notice, if we go to this view, I have, if we go to, I think, is it this button? Yeah, so we have all 81 tiles unlocked here, so I could basically build anywhere on this map. As you could see, when I was building that road out, I didn't have to unlock any tiles or anything, which I love. I love to have the space. 25 tiles is cool, but if I can use the entire map and have control over the entire region, I will definitely take it. So, what we're going to do here, I don't know what we have. So I originally was going to build this bridge, so it just kind of leveled out. So it went from, the top of this hill or this bank to the top of this bank. But that seemed kind of impractical for a city like this. A city like this probably wouldn't have the money to spend on that, let alone the Department of Transportation probably wouldn't want to spend money on that either. They would probably go with the cheaper option because honestly, it's like, why do we need to make this anything more special than it needs? So I went with this little downgrade, so it comes down closer to the river. In fact, I could have probably got it lower, but this side was already pretty low. And then it just, it cuts out a little bit and it reemerges and comes up to the top of the bank. I don't honestly know if this would be cheaper than just building a span, but the span, instead of stopping here, was like all the way over here or something like that. So it was like an extra two spans on each side, which can add up really quick. So I do try to play a little realistic, but that's kind of with it. It will get replaced at some point. I mean, I won't doubt it. We're going to definitely be, I foresee if we start building on this side of the river, we're going to have some expansion that's going to be needed. So I think we're going to kind of, we're going to mimic this downtown. I mean, we should to an extent. I think we're going to do some longer blocks over here since it's going to be kind of industrial for now. It will turn into residential most likely. But for now, it's going to be, let's see, it's definitely going to be very industrial over here because this is going to be kind of like the outskirts of the city. So, like the industry is kind of moving out of the city at this point, and eventually people are going to need to start expanding this way, but we haven't hit that mark yet. So what we're actually going to start with, I'm trying to decide what road we want to use here. I think we're going to... we're going to use one of these roads, I think. Yeah, we're just going to use this one. I was going to use that national road, but I think we'll be fine with this. So we'll just come off of here. I think we'll just go straight off because that gets us pretty much along the riverbank. It is a nice looking road. I like these roads a lot. That's not even the one I wanted to use. That's the big, let's see, where's the other ones that I like using? I think they were back here. Yeah, these are great as well. I might actually swap it out because these have better transitions that they do. I don't want that one though. I just want a regular 2-lane road. Do they have that in this mod? Yeah, so you can do like these transitions yeah, so it does these nice little smooth transitions into turn lanes and everything like that. Ah, here we go. Oh, but they're so narrow. That's right. I knew there was a reason why I didn't like that road. We'll stick with we'll stick with the road that we had. Let's see, which was this one, I believe. Yeah, this one. Yeah, we'll stick with this one. I just don't like how narrow that road is. I get that there's no parking on it, but I kind of wish it was like this, but with no parking. That would have been much nicer. So we got that. Let's go get our. I like these roads. These are the 2-lane suburban roads, but they look really good even in the middle of downtown. Like, as you can see, because they don't have any lines, they don't have any markers. They're just very kind of side street type assets, so they're great. So we're just going to kind of build by the river. Now, we do have a little bit of a downslope here, but I think we'll be fine. So we're going to go, yeah, we could probably go there. And then we're going to go blocks of 2. Man, that is a lot more of a down by the river than I was expecting. All right, so we'll fix that in a second. So we're going to go by 2. And then go up there. Okay. So let's see if we can kind of smooth this off to make it look a little better. I don't want these buildings to be... I don't want them to sink into the ground or cause issues with the river, so... And I don't need like a giant cliff. We might have to give it a little bit more space between the road, like bring the road a little closer to the river. But I think we'll be fine. Is that a tree in the river? It is. All right. So then we'll do that, and then we'll just zone this as industry. And yeah, so I don't know if I would necessarily like that too much. This needs to come up just a little bit. In fact, can I match it to... Yeah, I'll match it to that one. That looks good. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be actually a really interesting area once it becomes housing or whatever we change it to. But you'll typically see kind of industry lining the river. I think we might even go more hand-placed buildings as well by the river. That might make more sense in the end. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to decide. But we got our little... we need to wash out for this, but we should be good. It should, if any pollution, it should just stay on that side, but we do have our water pumps here. We have our sewage treatment over here, which may need to move because you can see we're kind of cutting out the city for it. And then down over here, we have our garbage, which is complaining about crime rate, okay, and our power plant. Now they're complaining about crime rate, so we could use like one of these. Let's just put a small little police station. This is like the police for this area. I did have to put in a water heater thing over there because that's what the no pipes mod does. Yeah, so they're already happy. I mean, not that it really, I don't think it really matters if there's high crime or anything like that on those types of buildings, but I could be wrong. So I have the building, it's cheap, might as well just throw it in. Our city is making a profit. I am using unlimited money, but it is making a profit, which is nice. I'm not completely sold on these 2 offices here. I zoned down some offices here just to kind of have some offices in the city, and both of these buildings came up, so I may need to change it, but the front looks very industrial actually, so it kind of fits in the area. It looks odd with having them on separate sides of the street like that, so but this area is building nicely, so yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for now. That was just kind of a quick introduction into the city and kind of get myself back into this. I don't know how often I'll be posting episodes, but it was just something I wanted to kind of get back into and start doing it a little bit more again, and we'll see how the city goes. Like I said, it's not all going to be grid. It's eventually going to go suburban. It's going to be very kind of Americanized, but I want to get a very nice core downtown first and kind of build out from there. We may start building another separate city somewhere else on the map as well. because you'll typically see that. So if you like this, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.